The images are shocking. Fields across the American heartland ablaze, smoke turning the sky a haunting orange. The horizon glows with an unnatural light, casting long shadows over the land that once promised abundance. From Nebraska to Ohio, the breadbasket of our nation is burning, not by accident, but by design. The flames stretch for miles, connecting communities in a shared crisis. News helicopters capture vast, blackened fields where crops once grew. The earth is scarred, the landscape transformed almost overnight. This isn't a wildfire season or a freak act of nature. There's no lightning, no drought-driven spark, just a calculated decision. These fires are deliberate, set by the very farmers who planted and nurtured these crops. The hands that once sowed seeds now strike the match. Thousands of acres are burning across 10 states. The scale is unprecedented, the devastation hard to comprehend. Local fire departments stand by, powerless, as farmers torch their own livelihoods. The usual protectors can only watch, unable to intervene. It's a coordinated, desperate act, a message written in smoke. The air is thick with both ash and meaning. The flames are consuming more than crops, they're consuming dreams, legacies, and a way of life. Generations of hard work are reduced to embers in a matter of hours. This is not just a rural tragedy, it's a national crisis. The ripple effects will be felt far beyond these fields. The people who feed us are sending a signal of deep, profound trouble. Their silence is as loud as the crackling fire. They're burning their fields because for them, the harvest is worth more as a statement than as a commodity. The act is both protest and plea. We need to look past the flames and ask, why? What has driven them to this breaking point? Because the answer affects every single one of us. Our food, our economy, our sense of security are all at stake. This isn't just a story for the news. It's a story about who we are. It's about the values we hold and the future we face together. The essential workers of our food system are making a last, desperate stand. Their unity in crisis is a testament to their resolve. The sight is a gut punch to our national identity. It's a reminder of how fragile our way of life can be. These are not acts of God, but acts of man, of farmers at the end of their rope. Their actions are a cry for help, a demand to be seen and heard. The scale is staggering, the message unmistakable. The heartland is sending a warning that cannot be ignored. The heartland is burning, and we can't afford to look away. To do so would be to ignore the very foundation of our nation. The question is not just what's burning, but why. What forces have pushed these communities to such extremes? And what it means for all of us. The answer will shape our future, and the choices we make now will echo for generations. These fires are not accidents. They're a protest, a deliberate act of defiance. Farmers are torching the crops they spent all year growing, crops that represent months of backbreaking labor and hope. Imagine the desperation it takes to destroy your own harvest, to watch your hard work go up in smoke. This is a last resort, a visual scream for help that cannot be ignored. For years, farmers have tried to warn us. The economics of agriculture are broken, and the system is stacked against them. They've marched, written, called, pleaded. No one listened, their voices drowned out by indifference. Now, they're speaking in a language no one can ignore. Fire, a language of urgency and pain. Burning a crop is a profound sacrifice. Destroying your own income to make a point, risking everything for a chance to be heard. The message is brutal. If we can't make a living, our labor has no value, and our future is uncertain. This isn't an organized movement, but a spontaneous eruption of shared pain and frustration. One farmer burns a field, another follows. Soon, it spreads like wildfire, a chain reaction of despair. This is a grassroots rebellion, fueled by debt, falling prices, and a sense of being forgotten by the nation. These fires are not the problem. They're a symptom, a warning flare in the night. A symptom of a deeper disease eating away at rural America, hollowing out communities and families. The system is so broken, the crops are worth less than the ashes left behind, and hope is fading. It's not about insurance or fraud. Burning a crop often voids insurance, leaving farmers with nothing. It's about being heard. Finally, after years of silence and mounting frustration, the flames are a desperate plea. Pay attention, see our struggle, feel our pain. The country's farmers are in crisis, and they're lighting the signal fire, hoping someone will notice. This is what happens when people feel they have no voice left, when hope is replaced by despair. The heartland is crying for help, and the world must finally listen. To understand these fires, you have to understand the pressure farmers face. Farming is a 24/7 gamble on weather, markets, and loans. Costs keep rising, but crop prices stagnate or fall. Many farms have been in families for generations. Losing one feels like personal failure. Farmers are proud and independent, slow to ask for help. This year the numbers just didn't add up. Fuel, fertilizer, and seed prices soared. Crop prices dropped. They're caught in a brutal squeeze, paying retail, selling wholesale. They've refinanced, sold equipment, taken second jobs, still not enough. The fire is a physical manifestation of their burnout. When you see those fields burning, see people at the end of their rope. This isn't about fraud, it's about making a statement. It's a final act from people who feel trapped and betrayed. They're burning the symbol of their failure to show the world the system has failed them. The burden has become unbearable. Meet John and Sarah, fourth-generation farmers in Iowa, whose roots run as deep as the corn they plant each spring. John's great-grandfather broke this land with mules and sweat. Now John worries he's passing down only debt and uncertainty to his own children. Their fuel costs are up 40%, fertilizer has doubled, and corn prices have dropped 15%. Every season the numbers get worse, squeezing them tighter. The bank's patience is running out, and the threat of foreclosure looms over every meal and conversation. "We're not asking for a handout, just a fair chance to keep what our family built," Sarah says, her voice steady but tired. The decision to burn part of their cornfield was agonizing, a last resort after exhausting every other option. Their teenage son, who helped plant the corn, couldn't understand why months of hard work had to go up in flames. "What's the point of harvesting it?" John asks. "We'd lose even more money if we tried." At least the fire might get someone's attention, a desperate signal sent up into the sky. Their story isn't unique. Families across the Midwest are making the same impossible choice, caught between hope and heartbreak. Proud people, pushed into a corner, burning crops out of desperate love for a way of life that's slipping away with every season. They're sacrificing a piece of their farm in hopes of saving the rest, clinging to the belief that something can still be salvaged. These fires aren't just burning crops, they're burning the American dream, a symbol of loss and a cry for help. The pain is real, the message clear. This is a crisis that can't be ignored. This is not malice, but heartbreak, a family's love for their land, tested to the breaking point. The fire is a plea: see us, hear us, before it's too late for families like John and Sarah. The crisis is personal, and it's everywhere, touching every corner of rural America. John and Sarah's story is America's story, a story of resilience, struggle, and hope against the odds. The dream is going up in smoke, but the fight for it still burns in their hearts. How did we get here? It's a perfect storm of rising costs and falling prices. Everything a farmer needs, fuel, fertilizer, seed, machinery, costs more every year. Meanwhile, crop prices are set by volatile global markets, not by farmers. Trade disputes and industry consolidation mean fewer buyers and lower prices. Farmers are price takers, not price makers. Access to capital is shrinking. Banks see farming as high risk, so loans are harder to get and more expensive. Many can't secure the financing they need to plant a crop. It's a vicious cycle. Falling profits mean fewer loans, and without loans, no crop. The economic vice is tightening, squeezing family farms out. The business model is broken. The result? Desperation and fields set ablaze. The system is unsustainable. The crisis is structural, not personal. The crisis doesn't stop at the farm gate. When farmers struggle, rural economies collapse. Farmers are customers. When they can't spend, local businesses suffer. Main Street empties, jobs disappear, and small towns fade. The domino effect devastates entire communities. Schools, clinics, and fire departments lose funding as the tax base shrinks. The fabric of rural life unravels. Environmental costs rise too. Healthy farms mean sustainable practices, but desperation forces shortcuts. Fires release carbon and pollute the air. The loss is cultural as well as economic. Rural communities are more than just places. They're identities, values, and traditions. As farms vanish, so does a way of life. Young people leave, churches empty, teams can't field enough players. What was vibrant becomes a ghost town. This loss can't be measured in dollars. It's the slow death of rural America. You might think this is a rural problem, far from your city life, But the smoke signals a crack in our entire food system. When farmers burn crops, next year's harvest shrinks. Fewer farms mean less food. Prices rise, shortages loom. Your grocery bill is tied to the health of the American farmer. Food security is at risk. We become more dependent on imports. That's vulnerability. Our daily bread in someone else's hands. The family farm is critical infrastructure, not nostalgia. The current crisis is dismantling that infrastructure. The consequences, higher prices, shortages, loss of self-sufficiency, are coming for all of us. This isn't just economics, it's about national security. The problem may seem distant, but it's heading straight for your table. We're all connected to the farmer. What's at stake is more than a bad harvest, it's the collapse of the family farm. For generations, family farms have been the backbone of our food supply. Their stewardship is about legacy, not just profit. As small farms fail, big corporations buy up the land. Power consolidates, competition shrinks, and food becomes just another commodity. Industrialized, monoculture farming is less resilient and more damaging. We're losing knowledge, diversity, and community roots. The burning fields are a warning. The system is breaking. We face a choice: let it burn or rebuild on a sustainable foundation. This is about food security, rural health, and our national character. The stakes couldn't be higher. Our daily bread is truly on the line. Will we answer the call? As the smoke clears, we face a choice. One path leads to the decline of family farms in rural America. The other demands action, listening to farmers, reforming policy, and valuing those who feed us. We need to rethink trade, break up monopolies, and support new and existing farmers. This isn't about rejecting progress, but finding balance. A resilient, fair food system is possible. Support can come from Washington, and from us. Buy local, demand change, use your voice and vote. The fires of 2025 are a turning point. Will we let the family farm fade, or rebuild our food system? The choice is ours. Farmers have sent their signal. Now it's our turn to answer. Their sacrifice must not be in vain. The future of our food, and our country, depends on it.